Good morning, everyone. It's another, what is it, about 60 degrees now?
I think it's like 67.
So, did you ever, before we get to our main topic, did you ever think we'd have all these technical problems trying to get set up?
No.
And we're on a different camera. It kind of makes, from what I'm looking at, it makes Natalie's skin look a little green with the light here. She's not going to like that.
Right. Well, thanks.
We'll see what it looks like on the...
Bad enough I yawn all the time, much less like...
So my lightning connector was bad on my iPhone, which I'm recording on now. So hopefully it's fixed or somewhat fixed now.
It should be fixed.
And a myriad of other problems. But what's happening lately?
A lot. Too much to think about.
So you decided to try to do chiropractor.
Yeah.
And just maybe separate the car wreck stuff from your normal physical and OT, physical therapy and occupational therapy. And yesterday you got to tell us about your experience with the new chiropractor. And here she goes yawning.
Yesterday, I swear, I'm not tired or bored. I just haven't eaten. When I don't eat, I yawn. I don't know why, but yeah. Okay, anyhow, back to the subject. I went to the chiropractor yesterday, and for me, that was huge. I've seen the same chiropractor since I was like 15. So, 25 or 6 years. So, it was weird. I was really nervous. And I asked him just to use... It's called an activator, but me and my mom call it the pogo stick. To do the adjustment. Because I didn't want a manual adjustment on my neck. He hasn't looked at my MRIs or anything, so I was kind of leery about him being back there.
And we got a cat that might knock
we have
over
a
the camera. See, kids, cats, dogs, everything, or they're liable to mess up our XLR cables, which got short. Oh, there went the sugar. See, I'm not even going to edit that out, so keep going. It's a chiropractor.
So I went, and I was really nervous, and they take you back and do the therapy first. So it's the ultrasound. It's not like the ultrasound, but you view a baby with it's just intense heat. And they did the stim. And then I went into a private room, and he came in. And he did the little massage thing that they used. It
looks like a drill, right? With a little ball,
exactly.
A massage ball,
and it thumps.
Boom, 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 boom.
So he did that for a few minutes, and then he adjusted me with the activator. And it was basically the same as what I always have. But he did my shoulders, which I think I've had before, but not in a while. And he did up into my skull area. So I came home and I was pretty sore.
Headache? You complained about a headache, right?
My arms, I couldn't lift them, Dan sometimes has to feed me anyhow, but last night I couldn't even lift my arms up to lift a fork.
She was crying and whimpering in pain. So
yeah, but today I feel have a headache still, but I feel pretty much back to normal.
Okay, so trying to figure out the insurance issue, can I go to physical therapy, and you haven't made up your mind if you're going to stick with this guy or just go to
Not
physical therapy.
completely, but I think I'm gonna give it a shot just because it keeps them well separated as far as insurance goes. Like it's clearly defined. I don't know how you're gonna feel about all the driving, like come next week. But
Yeah, and the reason why she went to a new chiropractor is it's a lot closer. It's like 7-8 miles away versus like 25 or 30 miles away. And doing these trips, afternoon or right before lunch or whatever, going to her old chiropractor, having our oldest son in kindergarten, our day split in half. So if we wanted to go to the other chiropractor, maybe go shopping at Publix or something, it's a rush, and we probably couldn't really do it at all. So without getting somebody else to babysit, and that's always a problem. So we have created new playlists. Maybe some people have seen it, so that when people are looking at certain, like our discussions now, we got a playlist where we add all of our, I don't know, Natalie Talks or Let's Talk About It or something, I don't remember. All these will be put, and the uploads, because of all the technical problems, may not be uploaded in order, but hopefully we can get them sorted out in order. So it's kind of like a video podcast where you can just click on the playlist and go from the first one to the last one. Hopefully that makes it easier for you guys to sort through. We got like 400 or so videos up, and most of them are garden vlogs, but you can at least go to like Friedreich ataxia videos, and you can go to our talk videos, and some of them overlap into 2 different playlists. But this is making it easier for you guys to just sort through. So what's today's topic?
I just drew a blank. I think it's something about FA. But
So this is an FA one. We just had to get all the little stuff out. So what would you tell your younger self?
Yes. Okay,
and advice you'd give to people that are just diagnosed with Friedreich ataxia. FA for short. So FA, it's where is it frataxin that your body everybody generates, right?
Yes.
It repeats too many times and causes like muscle loss and nerve damage or whatever.
Kind of like
MS or muscular dystrophy.
Yeah.
It usually has a slower progression, but there are also different types of MS that are slower progressed than. So we won't get into that, but you do lose your ability over time to function entirely. I mean, is it going to be? Are you going to have a 20-year lifespan, or are you going to have a 50-year lifespan? After the diagnosis, but on average, people get it about 3rd grade, right? You start getting these 3rd grade, and when that happens,
it depends on. There are people who have developed it way later.
Yeah, even into their 50s. So see, that's the point. If you get it when you're 50, you're not going to have the issues that someone getting it at 3rd grade has, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the issues that many people have is scoliosis, and people that aren't familiar may say, well, does scoliosis develop over a long period of time and cause problems? For Natalie, how did your scoliosis develop?
Mine was pretty rapid. You make me think all the way back to 5th grade. I think I had gone to my aunt's over like my 5th grade summer. And I came back complaining of really bad back pain. And when I went in to see the doctor, she said it had progressed like early, just 3 months over the summer, to a 75-degree curvature. So I had no choice but to operate.
So that's being like just slightly off, and then a year or two later, it like curved really bad.
Yeah.
And she had Harrington rods put in. 1 Harrington rod or 2? I don't know. Anyway, they kind of consider Harrington rods kind of like old, outdated,
old school. They
and
don't
like
do
barbaric
that anymore.
It fuses to your spine, and there's no way to correct, or no easy way to correct a problem later on in life. So there are other treatments for this right now.
Yeah, like now I don't know what they do, but it's way more like
less invasive,
more technological. Like,
oh, cat again. So you progress over time. There's no way to stop the progression. So what would you change, or what kind of advice would you give to somebody that has this neuromuscular disease when they're young?
So if I go back, I think the first thing would be to always have a physical routine, I guess. So like therapy. Like, and I don't just mean going and like going for your knee and working out your knee. I mean like work out your entire body. Like if you were at a gym, like look at it as going to a gym. Don't look at it as physical therapy. Like, because that's important.
So you should always keep up with your physical therapy. You should always keep up with your occupational therapy. And if you have homework, don't be lazy. I mean, and this is something we can take out of everybody's life, because there are things, everything, routines that people need, their dietary habits, weight gain, weight loss, are you drinking too much alcohol or whatever.
Exactly, just like where I was supposed to drink like 8 cups of water a day. Like, stick to your routine. Like, stick to that. Make it a lifestyle. Don't make it like medical need or something. Like, if I would have done it and stuck with it. Now, problems I had I often found therapists who would focus in on a specific problem. Like, for example, when I was like 18, I subluxed my kneecap. So, like, the first therapist I had, like, saw my entire body and wanted focus on everything, and she had me like so strong, and like I was doing everything. Like I was able to do a crunch, and I mean it was amazing. And like she ended up, her dad died or something, and she had to leave. I got with another therapist, so they only focused on my kneecap. So for me, that was like the difficulty of like, I've had several therapists throughout the years, like only focus on specific areas instead of a whole person. That thing we talk about, intensiveness. and
Whole person healthcare.
the whole person healthcare. Exactly. So that's probably the number one thing I would look at if I could go back and tell my younger self something. The second thing is, if you want a career and you're going after a specific area, get your schooling done while you're young. Don't wait. Like, I'm 42 and just finished my master's. I don't know if I have the physical energy to go out there and make a full-time job. Like,
And a lot of times you can work 4 days a week at home, but it's still, you have to have that time and you have to have the energy.
Because I definitely get tired out now. Like, I had a friend who has ALS, and she's an artist.
Lou Gehrig's disease.
And I remember, like, when she first got
AOL.
ALS, and she was, normal. And within a few months, like, she had to stop everything by, like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon and go lay down. And I didn't understand that at first. I was like, well, how come you just don't go? I get it now.
And if people, here's the thing, a lot of these neuromuscular disease affect people the same way. They just have a different pacing of when it starts. And, some people with like MS and I guess ALS and all lived like 2 years after a diagnosis, and it rapidly makes your body go into decline. It pretty much never does that with Friedreich's ataxia. Yeah,
that's true. But I do have slowed down, like, and it's evident to me. Especially now, and I get maybe if I would have kept up my physical therapy and stuff, I would have been able to at least continue my pivot transfers or whatever. So being folded up in this chair all day long would not matter. Like, I yell at you about this all the time. Like, no one understands what it feels like to be, like, on a metal slab 24/7.
And I asked the wheelchair tech the other day, I said, do people actually live in these wheelchairs? And he said, a lot of my clients basically live in the wheelchair. They sleep in it, they eat in it, they may go to bed for 6 hours or something at night, but they're always in their chair. Yep. Some of them might actually just do their bedtime routine in the chair. I don't know. And, yeah.
And I pretty much was thinking about when we first met, like,
she was always in her chair.
Yeah.
Never got, it's bedtime. She would do, go to sleep or watch TV 20 or whatever. Or, well, nobody knows what that is. We'd watch the news, okay? Well, because there's probably 100 TV 20s in the world, maybe 1,000. But, who knows? So she'd watch her news, maybe play on your phone, and get up to pee maybe once in the night, and then go right back to bed.
Yep.
So,
third thing I tell myself, my younger self, is have kids earlier.
Yeah.
And I think that would be for anyone older, pretty much. But as far as the physical aspect, for me, that would be huge when I was able to walk and even do things with my hands more. Like, for instance, writing. We're trying to teach our kindergartner how to write. How the heck do I teach him how to write when I can't even hold a pen?
And remember, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Natalie was an artist. I guess she still is an artist in your head, in your mind, right? In your heart.
Well, I'd say I do writing now.
Poetry. But, I mean, as far as, like, doing, what is the pencil stuff?
I primarily worked in pastels, but I've done everything.
Pastels, so, yeah. So, she was a pretty good artist, and this took it away from, FA took that ability away from her, and now it's writing is what she has left. But that doesn't help when
normally I do that by voice texting.
Yeah, so that doesn't help when you have a kid saying, "Mama, I need help learning how to write," and Daddy, not really being a good teacher. Trying to like show him how to hold a pencil. It's like I try to show him how to hold a pencil, and he's not going to do it. He's try. I guess my advice to him would be to try to do it the best you can the way you're holding it, because you're not going to learn my way or the way I was taught from teachers in elementary school.
My friend actually, who is an OT herself, OT assistant. She told me to look up on YouTube it's called the tripod position, which Sally should be holding his pistol. But again, how would I teach him that? I can't do it at all. So this is part of my issue. Although I've had friends suggest things like teach him how to write in the bathtub with shaving cream, or
to pee with the Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Of course, that's not something Mama can.
So write his ABCs with shaving cream. So these are things that I now have to find new resources, I guess you could say, to adapt to FA as it is now, to where if I had started out younger with kids, I may have not had to worry about this.
Yeah, to basically surmise or whatever, if you would have did it younger, you still had your ability to write fairly well, to type on a keyboard, to do a lot more, stuff where you were kind of in between where you're at now and where you were. And it would have been easier for her to do the physical part of mothering versus like the emotional and the mental.
Yeah.
And of course she can still snuggle up and say I love you and give them hugs and kisses and do all that, but let's just say that, in my opinion, let's go back to the schooling. And her and I have talked about this before. I think you need to choose a career that you may be able to do long term, with knowing how it's going to affect you physically in the future. I don't know if anybody can get diagnosed at 3rd, 4th, 5th grade and have a career till they're 60 years old. It may not be possible. I don't know. But you can have it till you're 50 or 40. And we all know, too, that having kids affects a woman's body in the most normal circumstances. It affects their body. Sometimes they have trouble with losing weight. And then, 30, 35 years old, a normal person, whether or not they've had kids, also have that issue with, maintaining a healthy weight and stuff like that. Men get it, I guess, at 38 or 40. you need to kind of think about these three things that she talked about as a collective. They all have to work together. Your physical therapy, your diet, your occupational therapy, maintaining, a healthy lifestyle with trying to get your schooling, your career choices done early, and hopefully, if you want kids, to have them early. And a lot of people say in the normal circumstances, don't have kids until you're out of school or got a career.
And as a side note, like with the kids, my issue that I'm really facing now is they ignore both of us. But because I'm not the physical parent that gets them dressed for school and just all that, they completely ignore me. Completely. I feel like
crying.
I shouldn't even be there half the time.
Yeah, it's so. I'm not sure I would call it postpartum, but if people have experienced postpartum as a woman, as a man that experienced it with their wife or whatever, it seems like in Natalie's case, a lot of the emotional distress carries on way beyond that 5 or 6 month window.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you get frustrated when you don't have time to take care of yourself, you get frustrated when kids don't listen. You get frustrated, in many circumstances. The man gets frustrated, the woman gets frustrated, and the man almost goes into a postpartum thing too when he is also like doing the physical stuff for both parents. So a lot of people will say, talk about a mother and say she's a piece of whatever, trash or whatever, because she's a single mother, that she's refusing to work, that she stays home. It's a job.
That's the hardest job there is.
It's a job. I can tell you from a man's perspective, it is beyond a full-time job. It is not an 8-hour job. If they're throwing up at 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, having nightmares, sick, I've been thrown up on, she's been peed on, and
I've been thrown up on.
So it's I respect women that go through that, although I do have opinions about women not letting, their husbands or the father of the kids not see their, their children, because, again, even in almost the worst circumstances, that's free babysitting. Are you dumb? You could have, you know how much it costs to get a kid in daycare? We're veering off, but let me just throw that out there. Just because you want to back talk, and vice versa, back talk the kid's mother, the father, or whatever, realize that is free daycare. If they get the kid every other weekend or every other day. So We're almost 30 minutes long here, so anything else you want to say? Any other regrets you've had besides, like, having kids late? You can't really control that. You met somebody late in life.
No, there are reasons, and I don't regret it, because honestly, in my 20s, I was pretty damn wild. So I don't know, like, the FA sure didn't enjoy that. Like, I was wild, so.
And even if we get to somebody that's a teenager with FA or something, and they watch this video, a lot of people think they have to make their own mistakes to learn, and sometimes it's too late. We can say I told you so, 20 years down the road, but
you're still going to do what you want.
You're probably going to do what you want. All I can say is I implore you, you're going to have a better life if you stop the partying. If you really want kids, have them younger. If you really want a career, college, do it younger. Your kids are going to have a better life. You're going to have a better life, and hopefully you're going to die with a smile on your face.
But I don't know that I would have been mentally prepared for having kids in my 20s. Like,
So yeah, we don't always agree on things. You can see, and sometimes our banter, from our talks is because we slightly disagree on stuff. So, I
mean, it's it would have made sense physically,
yeah.
but was I mentally ready?
Yeah, I mean, you feel like you don't have and everybody probably understands that. You feel like you don't have enough life lived. I would assume that's how you would feel if
Probably,
you were 17
yeah.
and pregnant or whatever. You're going to feel tied down, and this is what I say when I said that postpartum will carry over. It'll carry over most likely to a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old, especially if they're a single parent and they raise their kids on their own. But somebody with FA, think about these things. Try to think seriously about what Natalie has said, because
And I had postpartum bad with all three.
It's better to question, did I live a full life because, I had kids early, or to have regrets at 40 or 50 years old?
But I don't have regrets.
You don't have regrets, but you wish you could.
I would have maybe done things differently, but I don't know that I would have done things differently.
But that's exactly what I'm saying, though. You can, as a young person, you can say, I partied, I wanted to live life, I wanted to go with my friends, I wanted to do everything else. But from a physical, medical standpoint, it would have been better.
I want to say better.
Okay, see, this is real. This is real.
Yeah, we're going to totally disagree.
Let me start throwing something across the... All right, it's 32 minutes long. We'll agree to kind of not come together yet. She still, I guess, has the mindset of like a younger person saying, I wish I wouldn't have changed it. And I'm old school. You say
he's an old fogey.
I'm an old fogey, so I yeah, I got the old fashioned ways in my head.
Anyhow, like this video and subscribe to my channel.
All right, take care.
Bye, guys.